वेलकम बैक टू माय ऑफिशियल यूट्यूब चैनल। दिस इज गौरव बयान। गौरव बयान यूट्यूब चैनल में आप सभी लोग का स्वागत है। तो गाइज, आज तो वैसे बहुत अच्छा दिन नहीं रहा, लेकिन फिर भी मैच के बारे में तो बात करना ही पड़ेगा। तो फिर मैं हाजिर हो चुका हूं आपके सामने मैच के बारे में, आज के मैच के बारे में डिस्कशन करने के लिए। लेट्स सी, देखते हैं क्या बात हो पाती है, क्या नहीं बात हो पाती है। बिकॉज क्योंकि आज दिन वैसे बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं रहा टीम इंडिया का, लेकिन फिर भी हमें बात तो करनी पड़ेगी। अभी करंट सिनारियो यही है कि जो लास्ट का जो आधा या फिर 40-45 मिनट का जो भी खेल था वो तो पूरा नहीं हो पाया, जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ बैड लाइट। और वहां पर कुछ अलग ही कंट्रोवर्सी हो गई। खैर, उस पर तो हम बाद में डिस्कशन करेंगे। लेकिन अभी करंट सिनारियो ये है कि 154 का ही लीड हमें मिला है। इट मींस till now we are standing with 154 runs and we have only 4 wickets left. एंड मतलब कहते हैं ना कि एक ही बैट्समैन बाकी है जो कि मतलब जेन्युइन बैट्समैन है, जेन्युइन विकेट कीपर बैट्समैन है। एंड अ मैन, मतलब जो हमें मतलब इस सिनारियो के लिए परफेक्ट मतलब कहते हैं ना बैट्समैन जो अभी इस वक्त है वो ऋषभ पंत ही है। जो अगर चाहे मतलब इस चाहे चाहे इट्स अ रॉन्ग वर्ड, आई थिंक इफ ही कैन प्ले लाइक ही प्लेज, जहां पे वो क्विक फायर अगर 50-60 रन की इनिंग खेल ले तो मैच काफी ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग बन जाएगा। अभी वो फिलहाल वैसे नॉट आउट है और आपको पता है उन्होंने 29 बॉल पे अभी सिर्फ 14 रन बनाए हैं। लेकिन वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड एंड वी नो द हाउ मच केपेबल प्लेयर ही इज। खैर, मैच के बारे में विस्तार से पहले डिस्कशन करेंगे। सबसे पहले बात आज के दिन की शुरुआत से पहले कर ले। आपको पता है कि कल इंग्लैंड लीड ले चुका था, दिन का खेल खत्म हो गया था। तो ऑब्वियसली आज से हमारी इनिंग स्टार्ट हुई। तो केएल राहुल, रोहित शर्मा जल्दी ही आउट हो गए। आज फिर से मतलब मेरे ख्याल से रोहित शर्मा एक वक्त ऐसा लगा था कि सेट हो गए हैं, अपने स्टार्ट को बड़े स्कोर में कन्वर्ट भी करेंगे, बट ऐसा हो नहीं सका अनफॉर्चुनेटली। और वो आउट हो गए 21 रन बनाकर। केएल राहुल के बारे में वैसे कुछ कह तो नहीं सकते क्योंकि उन्होंने ठीक ठाक स्कोर कर दिया था फर्स्ट इनिंग में। और ऑब्वियसली हमारे ओपनर्स के बारे में मैं किसी के बारे में भी कुछ बोलना एक तरीके से ना बेईमानी होगी, क्योंकि ठीक ठाक परफॉर्मेंस दे रहे हैं, चाहे वो राहुल हो चाहे वो रोहित शर्मा हो। इनकी पार्टनरशिप फर्स्ट टेस्ट मैच से ही या फिर कहें तो शुरू से ही काफी अच्छी चल रही। तो उस हिसाब से इनके बारे में हर बार इन्हीं से कहते हैं ना एक्सपेक्ट करना कि ये हर मैच में रन बनाएंगे, ये थोड़ा सा ज्यादा हो जाएगा। तो आई थिंक अगर केएल राहुल और रोहित शर्मा आउट हो गए तो उनके बारे में आप ज्यादा नहीं बोल सकते। मार्क वुड ने ही दोनों जन का विकेट लिया। खैर, उसके बाद बैटिंग करने के लिए आए चेतेश्वर पुजारा। चेतेश्वर पुजारा के बारे में बहुत लोग बहुत कुछ बोल रहे थे और आज उन्होंने कुछ वैसे ही द ओल्ड फैशन पुजारा इनिंग खेली। 35-36 बॉले उन्होंने ली अपना पहला रन स्कोर करने के लिए। उसके बाद वो टिक गए, एक कहते हैं ना द वॉल की तरफ। खैर, सबसे पहले बात अगर आप देखना चाहेंगे तो विराट कोहली आज ऐसा लग रहा था कि वो काफी डिटरमेंट है। उन्हीं के तरीके से, एक तरीके से देखा जो उन्हें सिचुएशन जो चाहिए होता है, जब उनके मतलब सामने वाले टीम के साथ कुछ बहस हो जाए, बॉलर से बहस हो जाए, तो उनको उस तरीके की सिचुएशन काफी ज्यादा पसंद भी आता है। तो वहां पर वो एक तरीके से उनको बहुत मतलब कहते हैं ना, जब एंडरसन से उनकी बहस हुई तो ऐसा लग रहा था कि इट्स अ टेलर मेड सिचुएशन फॉर हिम। और बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली एज आई सेड इट अर्लियर, आज वो मतलब ऐसा मतलब वो पुराने कोहली मतलब ऐसा लग नहीं रहा था। ऐसा एक तरीके से देखकर डर लग रहा है कि कहीं वो उनका जो टूर है कहीं वैसा फिर से ना हो जाए जैसा 2014 में हो। आई होप ना हो, बट जिस तरीके से जो उनके मोड ऑफ डिसमिसल है ना, वो बहुत ज्यादा मिलते जुलते बिल्कुल वैसे ही है जैसे जब वो फोर्थ और फिफ्थ स्टंप पे जब उनको प्रॉब्लम हुआ करता था 2014 के टूर पे। और अभी भी वही हो रहा है। अब डिफरेंट बॉलर से हो रहा है, पहले एंडरसन से हुआ, अभी सैम करन आज जो मतलब कहते हैं ना लेफ्ट आर्म बॉलर है, एक एंगल की तरह से बॉल निकाल लेता है और वहां पर मतलब कहते हैं एक तरीके से देखा जाए तो पांचवें स्टंप की गेंद थी जहां पे वो बॉल फील करने के चक्कर में आउट हो गए। खैर, कमिंग बैक टू चेतेश्वर पुजारा, जैसे कि मैंने बोला 35-36 बॉल पे आज उन्होंने अपना एक पहला खाता खोला। उसके बाद वो डट गए और एक दीवार की तरह खड़े हो गए। उन्होंने बताया कि वो क्या कर सकते हैं क्या नहीं कर सकते हैं। ओह, आई हैव बीन जॉइंड बाय वन ऑफ माय मेट लुकस। लुकस, हाउ आर यू मेट?
Yeah, not too bad yourself.
Yeah, I think you're still sleepy, right?
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. That's a good one. Okay, so India is 154 runs ahead, and they have left with only 4 wickets left. So let me talk about the England days. I think that was England days. I think there is 2 days. I think the third days, the third day also went in favor of England, and the fourth days I think also went in favor with England.
Uh, yeah, I'm actually opposite. I think day 4 was India's. Uh,
No,
I,
I don't think so because I think the and we have left with only 4 wickets, and the Rahane, Rishabh Pant is batting currently now, and Ishant Sharma is batting right now, and 154 run is just a lead.
well, I think before the start of the day, if you said that Pujara would survive 200 balls and Rahane at 50, you'd take that every day of the week. Um, that's one of the reasons why I'm going to put India in front. Well, sorry, not in front, but that's one of the reasons why I
But
think
I
it's.
think the lead is not good enough, Lucas. The lead, I can understand it could have been more worse. The situation could have been more worse if Pujara and Rahane wouldn't have been batted for so long period of time. But still, I think if you ask with me, then I think England are slightly ahead in this game comparing to India.
Well, there's no question about that. England are a little bit in front, but I still think it was India's day. They had to, in order to
That's
get
a bold
a
prediction.
result, they had to bat the day. They had no, by whatever means, they had to bat the day, and they did that.
Exactly.
Now we have lost some overs due to bad light. That's another thing that I've gone on about it over and over. I'm sick
We
to
will
death of
discuss.
it.
We will discuss.
Yeah.
We will definitely discuss on this.
So we've lost overs now to bad light, which has helped India. Okay, India's tail ender is not as good, but this is where Virat Kohli needs to pull aside Richard Pant and tell him to bat sensibly, at least for a session, and try
Exactly.
to get that lead to 200. If they can get that lead to
Exactly.
200, I don't think India can win this match. I think that's gone, but they
Yeah,
can save it.
I do.
They can, yeah, they can save it. I think if they get to a 200 lead, I think that will be enough. Because tomorrow it's going to be overcast as well, and if we've gone over for bad light for 2 days and 2 times in this Test match, so it looks like we're going to go off. We could lose overs tomorrow, and we could head off early tomorrow because of bad light. So I think
I
India
think
needs to
you have
somehow get
predicted
to.
earlier also, Lucas. I think you have already predicted this that you might get to see some rains on the day 5.
That was expected early in the week.
Yeah,
Now that now the rain it's just going to probably not going to be there. It's just going to be overcast. But if it's overcast, there's a chance of rain. But from my reports is that the rain will come earlier before the game starts. So we
okay,
shouldn't have a delay. But with rain, there's clouds, and we saw a game end a day end at 1:30 in the afternoon due to bad light. So you know
yes.
that actually worries me. That does, regardless if it's raining or not. So I think India need to get to 200. If I think once they get to 200, I think they'll be okay.
I think you're talking about this 200 score, but I think there is more about they need to play out the first session as much as what do you call it? No matter what, they need to play this first session out.
Well, with all due respect, if they play the first session out, the lead won't be 200. The lead will be 250 with Richard Pant at the crease. He won't muck around.
Yes, 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 yes.
So
Rishabh
if
needs to be
yeah,
there till the first session, end of the first session
yeah,
tomorrow.
if he's there at the end of the first set at lunch, then India well gone past 200.
Yes.
Because he doesn't like to muck around. He doesn't bat for time. He really only knows one way. So he'll either get 70 ball, 70 runs off 40, 50 balls. That's very good for India to save this match. And I think England, obviously they'll try to go for this, England. But you lose early wickets, they'll shut up shop. It's very crucial that England.
And I think the main key wicket will be the Joe Root wicket. Obviously, no matter what, England batting move from Joe Root till the entire batting lineup and till the end. It's like with the bat is Joe Root and with the ball is Jimmy Anderson. Obviously, let's discuss more about this day's play. Obviously, a word on Cheteshwar Pujara, because once again he showed how mentally tough he is, man. I mean, you got to have that some kind of a mental strength and some kind of a what do you call it, the patience level to hang out on this difficult situation and play as many balls and as many face some of the difficult situation in the test matches and still stand like a rock solid.
Well, he was unbelievable. We didn't expect that because he was so horribly out of form.
Yes, exactly.
We'd be probably saying if he survived 10 balls, it'd be a miracle. But he was he was absolutely fantastic. Okay, he didn't score many runs.
Exactly.
But in his position, he didn't have to. He just had to hold down the fort as long as humanly possible.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, he got a delivery that wasn't his fault. He couldn't do anything about that delivery.
And that was the unclever delivery. No batsman. Even if the batsman wasn't very good, Nick, he couldn't have survived with that ball.
No, that was a short ball that Pujara played all well today, defended it, but unfortunately the ball bounced higher than he expected. And he got
on the very good length also. Yeah. That's the main issue. Yeah. The batsman can't expect that short ball.
So unfortunately, Pujara could not do anything about that. Otherwise, he probably would have still been here today. I didn't see him once ever in trouble.
Yeah.
A couple of balls off the edge that dropped very short, but apart from that, I never really seen him get bogged down and get in trouble compared to his first innings and compared to his first test match in the series. He was fantastic today.
And I think it is very unfair to. I don't think we need to talk about this Pujara. Rohit and Rahul dismissal, because you can't expect every time to be firing every innings. So it is very wrong to have a discussion on Rohit and Rahul. Let's move ahead with this Virat Kohli. What went wrong with him? Obviously, I was watching with Virat Kohli. He was having some of the talks and some of he was going after Jimmy Anderson, and I thought, hang on. It is a tailor-made situation for Virat Kohli. He likes to have some of kind of a discussion and some kind of a heated argument with the opposition teammates, and he he likes this kind of situation where he pumps everyone up, and he like this kind of situation where he goes on his business and tries to prove everyone that he is the man. Yeah,
unfortunately, I think he went after the wrong person. You talk about Virat Kohli, he likes to go after oppositions. James Anderson also likes to go after oppositions. He's not afraid to get mouthy. We've seen James Anderson get very mouthy in the Ashes to Mitchell Johnson. In the Ashes, with the broken arm thing, cursing, swearing. So James Anderson's no stranger to giving out and copping abuse. And literally, when James Anderson gets abuse or cops it, he literally bounces back.
Exactly.
So I didn't see anything wrong with it per se. I think that's test match cricket. There was a couple of.
Lucas, I haven't said anything wrong about that. That Anderson has done a wrong. I just said that it was a tailor-made situation for player like Virat Kohli. He liked this kind of situation where there is a verbal communication with this opposition player. That's it. That's what I have said, and I've never said anything wrong about that. This guy did wrong. This guy Virat Kohli hasn't done anything wrong. I'm not been part of this conversation, and I like this kind of thing where something interesting going on in this cricket matches where some people are saying saying anything to each other.
Yeah, like I said, I just think he could have went after another bowler. Someone like a Sam Curran who's very timid, or a Mark Wood. Even though Mark Wood, you might think he's a scary bowler, he's a very timid personality. Same with
Yeah.
Moeen Ali. I just think the worst person you could have a go at is James Anderson, because he's copped it all his life.
But
Especially,
Virat Kohli has been that kind of a person. He doesn't
yeah,
afraid to take off any because you have seen
no,
this
yeah,
conversation. I think that he has gone after Mitchell Johnson also. But
yeah.
Mitchell Johnson is a guy like you should have avoided him to talk. But he doesn't afraid with anyone. It's like Jimmy Anderson. It's like Mitchell Johnson. He doesn't care.
Yeah, it was just two very warm personalities. Jamie Anderson,
Yeah.
might think, he's a quiet, medium-paced bowler, but, he's very expressive in his body language. And obviously he's not afraid to give it back to you if you want to say something to him.
Yes.
But like I said, I didn't see anything wrong with it. Unfortunately, I do
also
think
think
Virat
so.
Kohli. I do think Virat Kohli will get a fine under the penalties of ICC with swearing. We've just today we've seen a young West Indies bowler get fined. I forgot his name. So he played today. He took a 5-week call against Pakistan just then.
I think his name
But
is
he,
Sales,
yeah,
just something like Sales, and
yeah, Sales,
I've
yeah,
just
yeah, 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 yeah. And unfortunately, he got carried away in the first innings when he was bowling. He got a fine for swearing, which I disagree on that. But that's another thing altogether. So I think
yeah.
Virat Kohli will probably get a reprimand and a code of conduct penalty, which is a
Yes.
demerit point. But
Forget
I didn't
about
see
this,
any.
all these things, Lucas. Yes, forget about Lucas. I think we should concentrate on this match. So, how do you see Virat Kohli inning? Because once again, I'm seeing this happening again and again. That he's getting out on the fourth stump, fifth stump ball, where he should be leaving this kind of deliveries.
I think Virat Kohli's done in Test match cricket.
Oh, that's the biggest statement you
Yeah,
have made.
I don't see him making any hundreds this series. I think he's done this series. Now
Okay, you're
we've
just saying
we
that he's
we
done with this series only, right?
yeah I he's not. We saw with Pujara. I picked this up with Pujara. He batted a little bit inside of his crease. He took a step back and batted. He made a technical adjustment,
Yes.
and that and I was looking for and so did Rahane. He made a technical adjustment as well. Virat
Yeah.
Kohli did not make a technical adjustment, so that tells me that his confidence is low. His feet are not moving, and like you said, he's getting out on deliveries that's 5 and 6 stump line where he should be leaving. This is not the first
Yes.
time. This is not the first
Yes,
time this has
and this is
happened.
not going to be the last time
Yeah,
also. He has
yeah,
this
yeah,
problem with this fourth
yeah.
stump, fifth stump line where he just pokes at the ball and got out on this slip or keeper, whatever.
I didn't see any adjustment, any batting out of his crease or in his crease taking a different line like Kohli and Rahane and Pujara did.
Yeah.
He just kept that his own way, and unfortunately, when you get bobbed down and get dismissed by the same shot over and over again, just fishing outside off stump, it plays a bit in your minds. Now, Virat Kohli is a very mentally strong cricketer. Very mentally strong
Yeah.
cricketer. He never gives up. He never gives in. He'll keep going. But unfortunately, the rest of his body is not paying attention to that. His concentration levels are not there. Now, I'm not saying he's giving up. But I just don't think his concentration levels are there. I don't think his mental game is there, because he's not doing anything different to combat this. And that's why I'm
But I
saying
think
until we,
I won't say that I won't make a prediction about that he will make a
yeah,
hundred on the next test
yeah,
match or even third test match or even for the fourth test matches. But I think he will be coming back to form very shortly. He will play an inning like he played a brilliant inning on the first inning where he made a 40 odd runs and it made a huge impact also because because you look at the longer picture where he made a partnership with KL Rahul of a 117 run partnership, and that created a big impact on this Indian innings. So obviously, I think he had a bad day in the office again, and he will come back again, and you might see him firing with the bat on the third of even four test matches. So I won't say that he has done in this series, but I think he will be coming back strongly in the next one or two matches. Go ahead, Lucas.
But even with that 40, he got out with the same shot again by Ollie Robinson, that fourth, fifth stump line.
I agree.
And
I agree.
Until he makes a technical adjustment,
yes,
he's not gonna. I think he's done this series. He needs to make a technical adjustment, either bat out of his crease, bat in it, or take a different line. And if he keeps on playing the same shot outside the off stump, he's going to nick it. He's going to nick it 9 times out of 10. And he's going to keep getting out the same shot. And the England bowlers, they know this. They know that he's going to play that shot. That's why they bowl there.
I think it was the 2014 series where everybody Jimmy Anderson pointed out that he has that weakness on the fourth stump line. So obviously England, once again he's playing in England, so obviously everybody knows that he has the problem with the fourth stump, fifth stump line, and where he pokes at the ball and goes on with the slip corner or either keeper.
But even in that series, Virat Kohli made hundreds. And balls, and that fifth and sixth, fourth and fifth stump line, he was leaving him in that series. This time he's not. He's playing at it, and he needs to fix that technique. Otherwise, he's not going to do anything this series. Until he does that, he's not going to do anything. He needs to change his technique. Simple as that.
I think, Lucas, one more thing. I think he had this problem earlier also. It is like sometimes he just leaves the ball brilliantly, and sometimes he just poke at the ball. So there is a problem where he faces this problem on the first stump, fifth stump line. It is just that sometimes he handles that situation or that line better than the others, other innings sometimes, and on the other hand, like he's in not been very good nick, he just pokes at the fourth stump, fifth stump line, and he goes to the slip and obviously keeper. Let's move ahead with this Virat Kohli discussion and come back to Ajynke Rahane. What's your thought on Ajynke Rahane's inning? I think it was a brilliant, and I think he just showed that he's a guy who is a tailor-made made a guy for a situation like where his team in trouble. You should call Ajynke Rahane.
Contrast to Pujara's shot where he can do anything about it. I think Rahane threw away his wicket. That was a poor shot. That was a skidding ball. Exactly. It did not spin. It didn't drift. It was just a slider. And he missed it. I think apart from that, he was absolutely fantastic. And again, he's been struggling all throughout this series, but he made a technical adjustment. At some stages, he was batting out of his crease. And at some stages, he was a little bit forward out of his crease. So he was trying something. And at the same time, I think he was a little bit defensive than normal. The run rate that they were scoring at, for the first 20 overs was a little bit poor by Test match cricket standard.
But you couldn't understand the situation also that what they were going through. It was India were I think India were 55 for 3, but if you less this lead also from England, so it was like 30 or 20 for 3.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They did things differently today. They were a little bit more defensive with their shots. Compared to Virat Kohli, he still went the same old way. Rahane, and Pujara, they batted patiently. Bad balls they would put away. Now we didn't see that in this series before with Rahane or Pujara. They would be like Virat Kohli. They would get out, especially Rahane, that fourth and fifth stump line. He left the ball very well today, Rahane, very well.
Yes.
And his defense was fantastic today. Like I said, he'd be a little bit disappointed with the shot he played to Moeen Ali when he got out. He was leaving those balls all day. All day he was leaving those. Just a little bit gap of concentration, but he was batting a very long time. He was getting cramp in his hand, and that's Test match
Yeah,
cricket. It's going to test you. It's going to
yeah.
test you physically and emotionally, mentally.
Mentally.
And
Yes,
when you get treatment on your hand or your wrist or wherever, you don't think about cricket. You think about that injury or the cramp. Uh, and
exactly.
and actually, incidentally, when he had that cramp, that's not too long after that he got out, so he lost a little bit of his concentration.
Yes.
And he sadly threw his wicket away, but he was absolutely fantastic today. And he's put India along with Pujara in a good position to save this Test match.
And Jadeja got a brilliant ball. You can't do nothing with this with that what do you call it, flighted delivery,
Yeah.
and went ahead with this hitting the off stump where he got a turn also from Moeen Ali.
Well, again, that ball came out of nowhere because it hasn't been spinning at all
Exactly.
this innings.
Exactly.
Today, this pitch did not spin.
Exactly.
I think a couple of balls by Joe Root spinned a little bit, but apart from that, there was nothing. This was a complete shock. So, but apart from that, this is no minefield. This is a very tamed wicket for spinning. But I just think
Exactly.
Jadeja got a very one of those balls that you'd probably get 1 out of 100 times, and unfortunately, that was one of the 100 times. And
Yes.
he just couldn't do anything with it, especially at that early of his innings as well, where your reaction speed isn't as good compared
Yes.
to getting your eye in, as they say in cricket, getting your eye in. So that's just too good of a ball.
So Lucas, that was a proper test day cricket. What do you call it, on the day four, where player like Ajynke Rahane and Pujara showed us this is what test cricket is, where the
Yeah.
situation is difficult and you gotta hang in there.
Well, not just that, but they copped a lot from Mark Wood, who was also
Yeah.
fantastic with the short balls. Um,
Yes.
they I think they got a hit a couple of times. Nothing
Yes.
on the head, but around that they've got really tested around those hips areas. And that is Test match cricket. It's able to cop your blows. Of course, you don't want to get hit. But when you do get hit, what are you going to do after you get hit? Are you going to prepare to get hit again? Are you going to play the shot? And they just got on with it. Pujara and Rahane, they weren't fussed about it. Any short balls, we saw Pujara play a very good pull shot in today's play off. I think off Robinson. Yeah, yeah,
Mark Wood, he played with
yeah,
this hook shot, and
yeah,
after that he got almost an unplayable delivery where he just
yeah.
can't do anything with that, and he
No,
got out.
so
Let's move ahead with this Pujara and Rahane inning. I was just seeing some of the visuals that with the Virat Kohli and Rohit were not obviously happy with. They were signaling with this dressing room that the day should not went ahead because of this bad light. So what are you? What's your thought on this? That should captain be raising voice from the day's dressing room, or will the on-field umpires should be more reactive with the players also, that look, this is not been the good day, or it's a difficult scenario to carry on, and they should have leave this field early as possible, or what's your thought on that?
look, emotions do get high. With all due respect, Pujara and Rahane were seeing the ball just fine.
Yeah.
When you lose a couple of wickets, you kind of find a little bit of an excuse to find
But
that.
look at this, just to interrupt you. I think once Jadeja also come. Jadeja was he was batting. I think the situation got very difficult. It was getting darker day by day. Even if just imagine India would have been 156 lead with just losing the 2 wickets. I think Virat Kohli still would have been fired up. Nobody likes to be losing the wicket on where they can't see the ball properly. So you need, if there is a proper light, you can play all those 90 overs, and I'm very fine with it. doesn't. I'm not saying that India is in a difficult situation. Just imagine Rishabh Pant got out, so the situation could be worse than that. So even if India, I'm just saying that even if India is 150 for two with the 8 wicket remaining on the day's play, sorry, 8 wicket left with this team India, I would have still said that if the lights are not good, you should have walked off.
Well, Ishant Sharma was good for 10 balls. He didn't have a problem.
Yes. But the problem, but Lucas, I think Joe Root was bowling and Moeen Ali was bowling from the other end, and suddenly, out of nowhere, Joe Root was thinking that, look, I won't be giving this easy singles and easy runs to India. I want this new ball, and suddenly, was the new ball was available, and he picked the new ball, and umpire just gone up and said, "We are done." So, what's your thought on this bad light scenario? And obviously, this behavior of it's not the behavior. It's, I think umpire should have stepped ahead and said that, look, the situation are not good. We don't want any bad things about the others team, about what do you call it, the batting team and the bowler team also, that they got advantage of this bad light.
Well, the umpires copped a lot of abuse for coming off in the first Test match at 1:30 in the afternoon. And they probably would have been up.
It was getting darker and darker, Lucas. Go ahead.
But they were still getting a lot of heat, and I think the ICC encouraged them to stay on as long as possible. With all due respect, I don't care how dark it was. You don't come off 1:30 in the afternoon. I don't care how dark it is. That's just pathetic. But anyway, I think the umpires won a lot.
I think it was not today. I think play was suspended till 30 minutes earlier of the display, end of the display.
Yeah. And I think the umpires won a lot of pressure by the ICC to make sure that the game went along as late as possible. So from their standpoint, you can't really blame them. But having said that, you can blame the ICC. This bad light situation happens far too often. Not in just, it's easy to say it happens in England, but it happens everywhere.
I've seen it happen everywhere. Often than not in England. It happens more often than not in England.
Yeah, it does happen more in England because of their weather conditions, because of the cloud conditions. Yes. But this happens everywhere in Test. I've seen this happen in India. I've seen this happen in Bangladesh. I've seen it happen almost everywhere in the world. And I keep saying, if you want to eliminate bad light for cricket, then get rid of the red Test match ball. You got to replace it with the pink ball. It's as simple as that. That's you cannot say, well, how do we fix the bad light situation? You've got a ball at your use that is made to play cricket in bad light, which is the pink ball. Do not come and say with the thousands of excuses. Oh well, it's unsafe for players. The players can't see the ball. Oh, how are we going to do something? Maybe we should bowl it early or start early in the day. No, just replace the damn ball, and you will never have a problem with bad light. That's why the pink ball exists. It's to play under lights, right? Now, with that, people are probably going to say, oh, there's too much advantage with the pink ball at night with the lights on at that time. Well, so what? That's what the pink ball's there for, to eliminate lighting problems for day-night Test cricket.
And Lucas, one more thing with this pink ball. I think we are going with the wrong direction, but it's a more simple, logical point. With this red ball, it swings in this morning session where it is very difficult to handle the first 1 hour or 2 hour or even the first session. Same goes with this pink ball also. It is very easy to bat on this first session, second session, but it is difficult on this evening session, on in the dinner session, where it is difficult if the ball starts swinging. So it doesn't matter if the red ball also swings in the morning session, and with this pink ball, it swings little late, and it swings on after the second session, or maybe it starts swinging in the third session.
Yeah. It mostly starts in the third session around 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So I don't think that would be a problem when Test matches end at 5 o'clock or 5:30. So I don't really see that necessarily being a problem. and under lights, that ball is like an airport beacon. You can tell, you can easily see that pink ball on the television screen.
Yes.
It's so easy to spot, and also it's not just the bad light. I've mentioned this on another video. How many times do you see a cricket player go up to an umpire and say, "Check this ball, please," and they put it through these little rings? It's just ridiculous. Now, and it takes time, and they do it, next 3 overs, and I'll check this again, and it looks fine. Oh, here's another 3 overs. Check it again. Oh, we better change it this time. That's an absolute farce, and the pink ball will stop that as well, because we all know the pink ball lasts longer. It's more durable than the red ball, and we won't get farcical stops like that in Test match cricket. The ICC. This is what gets me so angry with the ICC. They say that we're trying to get ideas to save Test match cricket, or to make it the #1 format. How can you save Test match cricket and make it the #1 format when you're coming off at 1:30 in the afternoon, when you have problems with the red cricket ball every 6 damn overs where players want to change it? How is that improving Test match cricket? That's not improving Test match cricket. That's putting people off Test match cricket and going to places like the 100 and the IPL, the Pakistan Cricket League, the Big Bash, ODI formats. That damages Test match cricket, not improve it.
Okay, so we will have this a discussion on this separate day, where we will discuss about this pink ball or red ball or white ball. We have that video, guys. You can just go through the channel, and Lucas has said all this definition about this red ball, white ball, and this pink ball. So you can just go and check out all this video of this definition of red ball, white ball, and pink ball. He has that ball also. So we have that video also on the channel. So we'll have it's time to wrap the show. We'll meet tomorrow after the end of this day's play. Till then, guys, Lucas has that ball. You can see that pink ball clearly, and you can see you can't see this red ball clear. You can't able to recognize that red ball clearly, but you can see that pink ball very easily. So till then, guys, good night. Take care. We will meet tomorrow after the day's play, and hopefully we'll have a very good day and interesting days ahead and tomorrow. Till then, good night, guys. Take care. Do like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, guys. Lucas, you can also say this.
Yep, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video and share on your social medias and to your friends. Thank you.
Till then, good night, guys. Big namaste to all, and good night.